We were all heartbroken by the news of the shooting that occurred at Sandy Hook Elementary. And we recall the shooting that occurred in Colorado Springs in 2007 in a church where a person entered a church and opened fire. One of the most perplexing and important issues that you confront as a church leader is how to develop, to deploy, to implement an effective security plan for the safety of those that attend your church. Please watch this video. It's very, very important, and we want to share with you some of the ideas we have about this issue. You know, there's obviously a lot to consider when developing a church security and risk management plan, and there's additional potential liability that can arise when you're considering what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and especially the issue of whether or not to have armed security at your church. We've gone through this issue with many, many churches. Texas, for example, is a concealed carry handgun state. Other states are not. Folks sometimes want to use concealed carry handgun permit holders to provide security for their church. Others, they don't know what to do. They just know they want to make their church a safe place. So here's some things that you should consider. First of all, as you begin the process, if you've not already done so, you should reach out to local law enforcement and tell them that you have church security concerns and get their input. There are also church security specialists that you can retain to get the benefit of their insight and their experience as it relates to developing effective policies and procedures for safety at your church, particularly as it relates to this risk management issue and the dealing with folks carrying guns at the church. So identifying what risk exists would be a preliminary step. You also need to know, have there been any specific credible threats made against anyone in your church or anyone in your church's leadership? And if so, having a process to document them and making sure that law enforcement is aware of them. You need to understand the difference between how to effectively use an unarmed security team versus having armed security. And if you decide you want to have armed security, a lot of our churches will work with off-duty police officers, understanding that when someone is a licensed commissioned peace officer, even if they're not on duty, they still have the right to carry a handgun. They still have the right to respond when or if there is a crime that's taking place. So having an off-duty police officer is a really effective way to make sure you have armed security that's trained and has the right to carry and use a firearm. In addition to that, you need to find out if your state allows for not police officers, but just private security to carry firearms, and if so, what the rules and regulations are there. And then you need to really, once you get your policy together, vet all of this with local law enforcement officers. I would imagine there's police officers and folks in your congregation that you could reach out to and begin to talk to them about the various risks that are associated with having a church safety plan, including dealing with the issue of armed security. Look, I would like to tell you I can give you something that's going to solve all of the issues and that you can fill in all the blanks and away you go, but this is something that needs to be custom tailored and thoughtfully considered for your church and for your situation, depending on where you are, what the size of the church is, what the profile is of the leadership of your church. And if you need help about this issue, please contact us. We would love to help you. We know that this is on your mind. We know that this is a concern, and we know that you want to make your church as safe a place as possible for those that come to hear the gospel. So contact us about this topic if you have any questions or anything else that you'd like to discuss. I'll talk to you again soon.